Hey, how's it going, guys? Got a bit of showdown today. This is actually going to be the first replay for my OST round 1 opponent. We did have a best of 3. Obviously, first to 2 wins takes the set. And this is going to be the first battle. And just if you don't know what OST is, I'm just going to give it a quick introduction. So OST is just short for Official Smogon Tournament, which is I think it's Smogon's biggest tournament. There's a total of 512 people that enter. It's single elimination, best of 3 each round. I'm not really sure how many rounds there are, but I'm sure there are a lot of rounds considering 512 people enter. But there's basically all the rules here. Like, it's going to be ORAS OU, single elimination, best of 3, and Pokemon Showdown, obviously. And yeah, that's basically it. All the rules are here. So, I mean, if you really want to look, I'll put the link in the description, but entries have already closed, so you won't be able to enter from here on out. But yeah, say look, pretty much all the best players of the game enter tourneys like this. Say people like McMegan himself, people like Jambad. I know Joey's in there, even though we went out round 1, which kind of sucks. To probably the worst matchup you could have gotten. But yeah, a lot of good people are actually going up round 1, but I'm just rambling. So that's basically what the official Smogon tournament is now. I'm just going to jump into the replay. So just going to get into the replay. I am JSIMOTBH and my opponent is Freeroamer. I am going to be on this side and he is going to be on this side. So a team preview. I'm pretty sure I had team matchup here. Just because Starmie spins against a team like completely free. He cannot keep hazards up at all, because it just comes in on Heatran and it can spin on anything without being threatened by like a Pursuit T-Tar or anything like that, or anything like a spin blocker. So I'm definitely going to be keeping rocks off my side of the field, which is amazing because I do have my Charizard here. And my Charizard is also really nice in this matchup since it completely walls his Mega Altaria. And whilst he can wall me to an extent, since I do believe he revealed Heal Bell during this battle, and I am Bulky Wisp. So, well, I'm not Bulky Wisp, I'm Offensive Wisp. With a little bit of Spadef, obviously adamant, but yeah, I'm defensive for Hippo, standard mixed defense to Ferrothorn, speedy bulky Starmie, AV Taunty, and Carmine Clef. So Carmine Clef can definitely put in some work this battle if I can knock off the Heatran with my Tornadus T. So that's something that I was looking to do, and basically just keeping rocks off my side. And I have team matchup here because I don't really need to make too many predictions. Like every now and again I can, just to speed up the battle a little bit, but I can pretty much just play safely. I have switch-ins to pretty much anything he has, and I'm just going to work on getting up my hazards and keeping his off my side of the field. So I'm going to lead off with my Tornadus, since it has a pretty good matchup against anything he really wants to bring out, and it leads off with Keldeo, which is amazing since I can bait out the Heatran here and go straight for the knockoff, so I get rid of its leftovers turn 1, which is absolutely amazing for me since it allows my Clefable to come through later on and actually beat it to an extent. But he actually ends up going out to his whole Altaria here. I'm guessing he didn't think I'd have U-turn, and he was predicting the double to maybe Starmie. I'm going to guess Starmie. So yeah, that was kind of a bad play on his part since most AV Taunty do carry U-turn. And I'm just going to act my Zard here since it does wall this if I don't Mega Evolve. And even like burn the EQ, because if I burn this, EQ won't be doing half even if I do go for the Roost. So I can just basically PP stall this out, or burn stall it. But I missed my first Will-O-Wisp, which is obviously kind of annoying. It would have been really nice to hit that, but it doesn't really matter too much since I can wall this thing all day long. And I do manage to hit my second Will-O-Wisp, so I can get this burn. And obviously it's a special set since it doesn't really mean that much, but now I can Roost pretty much for free, even if he does have Earthquake. He just go for the Hyper Voice again, and I'm also just going to go for the Roost here just to get my HP back. I do want my Charizard. I want to be keeping it high just so it can deal with this Altaria, but he does reveal the Heal Bell, which is really annoying. It means that this Altaria is basically going to be much more of a problem than it should be. But like I said, I don't really need to make any predictions. Like, I don't really care if he brings out Heatran because I have Starmie that can just come in. It prevents rocks. Even if it gets burned, it has natural cure, so I'll only be taking a little bit of residual, and I can just recover against the Heatran later on. Only if he gets like 5 burns in a row will I be getting whittled. So obviously he's just going to go straight up to it here. As he goes for the Protect, I'm guessing just scouting for the EQ, but I mean Wisp Zard doesn't carry EQ really. So I'm again not really agreeing with that play. He could have gotten up rocks, but then again I mean, I just get a free scored off here, basically. That's why it's bad for him. But he goes out to Celebi here, obviously the best play since it completely walls my Starmie and it has natural coil, so even if I do get a burn, it will not really be doing too much apart from taking off like a 12% this turn. But I'm going to be switching into Tornadus here, and the reason I didn't switch into Charizard is because he may have been T-Wave, and I didn't really... Like, I really need Zard, I need it to not be T-Waved, and Tornadus not so much, so this was just the better play for me for this turn, just to scout if he was actually T-Wave. It does actually look like he... Looking at the team matchup, it looks more like he's Nasty Pass, since obviously he has a Keldeo to pass into, he has a Heatran to pass into, two things that Celebi passes into quite well, considering things like Bishop and like fire types like to come in on Celebi and get off hits, and obviously passing into Heatran and Keldeo is not really too difficult with a Nasty Plot, so I'm definitely thinking that it's Nasty Pass, and since he goes for Baton Pass here, can't talk. Since he does go for the Baton Pass there, pretty much reveals that he doesn't have Thunder Wave, since if he did have it, he would have gone for it there. So that's a big, that's a big relief on my part. But I'm just going to U-turn out against the Altaria. I could have Hurricaned here, but I don't really think it matters too much. The only way that I would have beaten Altaria is getting like 2 confusions in a row, which I'm not going to go for. And I'm just going to Wisp again here. I was kind of expecting him to Roost there. Oh no, I actually Roost here. Yeah, because I wanted to get my HP back. I remember that now. But I actually thought he'd Roost there, but he didn't, so... Yeah. But he goes out to Heatran, again I can just go straight up to Starmie and Rapid Spin. And I pretty much do this for the entire game, like, he really can't touch my team, he can't keep rocks up, and he doesn't have any spikes user, so his only hazard is rocks. Which means, pretty much he doesn't really have a way to beat me as long as I keep playing safe like this. And this makes... he can pull as many doubles as he wants and it really will not matter, unless he has like HP Electric on his Keldeo. That's the one thing that I was scared about, him having HP Electric on his Keldeo, because that means that Starmie would have basically taken like, I think, around a 70% from a Spec's HP Electric. And I really need Starmie in this game. Starmie is really important, but now that I know he doesn't have T-Wave, I can see if he go out to Charizard, which is great, since I can scare him out with a potential Flare Blitz, and this is why I did double into my Hippowdon, just to get up rocks, since there's not really too much going on in this match, and I really want to get up my hazards just to start whittling down his team members. And he does go into Keldeo here, which is absolutely fine. I'm honestly not too sure about that Keldeo play, since that does just give me a free switch into Starmie, which was kind of making me... Like, I kind of wanted to go out to Tornadus there just to scout if he had HP Electric, but I don't know, I just went out to Starmie. Like, that just felt like the better play at the time, but I'm just going to double into Tornadus here. It's a good play, since if he does Scald, I mean, the worst he can do is burn me, and that's not really too bad, since obviously I have Regenerator, I'm timid, so no physical moves like Knock Off or anything are going to be doing that much, and Knock Off and U-turn are basically just removing items and momentum, so the power isn't really needed that much, and it's just a good play in case he wants to go out to Celebi that turn. But he's going to bring out Landorus. Really surprised that this wasn't Scarf Landorus, since he doesn't have a Scarf on his team, so I found that kind of strange. I can't actually remember if his Keldeo was scarfed or not. It might be. I don't think it was ever revealed, but yeah, I'm just going to U-turn on the Landorus, go out into my Ferrothorn, which is great. I'm just going to Gyro Ball in case he wanted to go out to Celebi there. Just get off some damage, but he ends up going out to Heatran, which is fine because I get off a little bit of damage on that anyway. Even if it's 8.6%, it's residual, and I do definitely need that against this Heatran if I want to win with my Clefable. But he's just going to go for Stealth Rock again, and again I can just Rapid Spin them away. I have no real reason to like predict him to stay in and Scald or anything. No real reason to predict, since if I just keep playing like this, I can eventually whittle down his team to the point where he can't really do too much. Or basically to the point where Clefable sweeps. And obviously just going to get free switch into my Charizard here, which is great since it baits out Heatran. And obviously Heatran is taking more and more rocks damage, and I can just go straight out to Starmie. And it's basically just an endless circle at this point. He really can't touch my team, even if he wants to pull all the doubles in the world. He does go out to Latios here, which is a good play on his part, predicting my Starmie, since he can now defog these rocks away, which are whittling down his team. And it's going to be kind of problematic to get them back up again. A better play there for me would probably be going out to Ferrothorn, since that way I could have gone up spikes and just kept up hazards. But instead I decided to go out to Tornadus just to try and get up a knockoff or something, like in case he wanted to defog, but I just ended up going for a Hurricane, predicting the Altaria to come in, and I really wanted to get this Altaria out of the way, so I just spam Hurricane trying to get a confusion, but unfortunately I ended up missing that turn, so that kind of sucked. You'll see the epitome of like how desperate I was for residual on this Heatran right here. I go for the non-Mega Dragon Claw. Obviously I need to stay Mega to wall this Altaria, since if I do Mega Evolve, Hyper Voice is going to be doing... I think Hyper Voice 2 at KOs if I do Mega Evolve. And I basically went for Dragon Claw, just trying to get even the tiniest bit of residual on Heatran, even if it's like 10%. But he does stay in and roost, which is absolutely fine. I can just roost this turn just to get my HP back. But yeah, he does bring in Keldeo, and again that's just a free switch for my Starmie, since I think it's pretty much... Well, it's not revealed that he doesn't have the HP Electric, but I'm pretty sure that's Scarf damage, looking at it actually. So Keldeo is his Scarfer, and pretty much revealed at this point that he doesn't have HP Electric, which is, again, amazing news for me. And I'm going to pull the double out to Tornadus again on his Keldeo, because like I said last time, I really don't care if Tornadus gets burned, and this play basically stops him from getting the free switch into Celebi off of my Starmie. And that means I can just get off a free Hurricane here, and if I do get the confusion here in him, and if he does get confused in himself, then obviously I'll get rid of Altaria, which is pretty much the only thing that stops this Tornadus from completely wrecking through his entire team. So obviously that was worth the risk, but unfortunately I don't get the confusion. But I do actually hit like 3 Hurricanes in a row, which is surprising. He does go into Heatran here on the Will-O-Wisp, which is fine. This battle was like... There's not really much happening in this battle, so it wasn't the most exciting of battles, and I think the next one's like exactly the same. It's basically him not being able to touch my team. It kind of sucks that he didn't get any burns with Lava Plumes as well. Like, my Starmie is just... My Starmie is unburnable. It's a well-trained Starmie. But I'm just going to go for the recover here. Obviously he didn't get up rocks, and I can just recover. No reason not to, really. He's obviously bringing out Celebi, so I don't really care too much about that. But just going to go straight up to Charizard, as he goes for Baton Pass, predicting that. So good play on his part, but again, it's not really getting him anywhere, since I can just go into Starmie. Like, I have switch-ins for pretty much everything he has. And I'm kind of tempted to skip a few turns, because this is pretty much just the same thing happening over and over and over and over again. But obviously I stay in with Starmie here, actually, because I've made the play to Tornadus twice already, so I felt that he might want to predict that again. And worst case scenario, I'll get a Psyshock off on him, which is actually really good for me, since I can weaken his Keldeo quite a lot by doing that. So I did predict him to predict my Tornadus there, which obviously worked out really well for me, since I was able to get a Psyshock onto his Keldeo. And he Baton Passes again with Celebi there, which was good play on his part, predicting my Charizard. But again, it's really not getting him anywhere. He does double predicting my Ferrothorn. But again, I can just go straight out to Starmie, play completely safely. And it's just an example of a game where you really don't need to predict. Like, I could say stay in with Ferrothorn there, predicting him to go to rocks, but there's just no reason to do that when I have Starmie in the back. And I don't need to predict Celebi, because I have Charizard that just comes in. I don't need to predict anything, because I have switch-ins for pretty much everyone he has, so... It's just basically a message to you guys. You don't need to predict every single turn. You don't need to make godly plays to win, because I already know what my win condition is. It's just whittling down his team, and I don't need to play risky and prevent losing this. Like, there's no way that I can really lose this if I carry on playing like this. And obviously I'll go straight out to Charizard again. I really don't want him getting a nasty pot off of his Celebi here, but this is actually a good play on his part, because it forces me to Mega Evolve and go for Flare Blitz to stop him getting off a nasty pass. And arguably, I could have just normal Flare Blitz. I didn't really need to Mega Zard, because looking at long term, if he goes out to Heatran, the best he's doing is a +2 Lava Plume to Starmie, and then I guess this whole process just starts again, and I just recover. If he goes out to Keldeo, then he gets off a +2 Hydro on my Starmie, which I guess would 2 KO at that point, so I'd have probably gone a Ferro at that point, but I guess just Megaing with Zard was the safest play. Like, that's pretty much just this battle, just making safe plays, but he actually ends up going up to Altaria. Like, I really expected Heatran there on the Flare Blitz, but he takes a Flare Blitz with his Altaria, which is obviously fine by me, but that does force me to Mega Evolve, which is great for him, since my Charizard can't wall his Altaria anymore, but it's absolutely fine, because I have a Clefable that walls it too. Like, there's really little that this guy can do. Charizard was just safer in case he critted me with Hyper Voice, since Clefable cannot live a crit plus a normal Hyper Voice, which kind of sucks, but I'm just going to go straight to Starmie again here, prevents rocks, if he does want to go for them, and if it gets burned it has Natural Cure. Obviously it's just the safest play once and once again, and this is looking to be like, at the moment, a 100-200 turn battle. But there is pretty much no way that I am losing this. He's just getting whittled more and more, and it's going to be to the point where Clefable sweeps like soon, because all I really need to do is weaken Heatran down a little bit. I've already gotten rid of its leftovers. It's more just getting it in safely against his mons. I could have honestly calm minded up a bit earlier, but Nasty Pass Celebi just and has stopped any way of like a Fable sweeping, so that was really annoying on my part. All I really needed gone was the Celebi, and then I basically just won from there. And from getting whittled, his team isn't going to have switch-ins to things like my Tornadus anymore, so Tornadus can definitely win, a lot of things can win. The only thing that I can see him winning with would be a Double Dance Landorus at this point, since my Hippowdon doesn't have Whirlwind, it actually has a Rock Slide and Earthquake over Whirlwind, like it has Rock Slide over Whirlwind just because Talonflame is such a threat to this team. And yeah, it's kind of a big threat, it kind of sweeps, because Hippowdon becomes setup fodder, nothing else takes a Stone Edge or an EQ. I believe Ferrothorn can take one, but Power Whip and Gyro do like, what, 40, 50? I think Power Whip does like 40. Charizard X obviously can't take a Earthquake after a Rock Push, so that was definitely something that I was wary about, I guess I could say. But yeah, you'll see that later on. I mean, I manage it okay. I manage it okay, I think. But yeah, I do go out on the Draco to Ferrothorn there, just to get up a Spike. Obviously getting up a Spike is amazing for me. Kind of a bad play him there going for Draco. I guess he was just getting a bit impatient with the play, and he just needed to make something happen with that turn, but there was no way I wasn't going out to Ferrothorn there, since it makes no sense for him to be HP Fire since he's Law Altaria, and I can just get up a Spike from there if he did decide to go for the Draco, which he did, and I get up a Spike, and Hazards is amazing once again for me because I can whittle down his team. But I get the confusion on the Altaria here, things were looking up, and then I miss Hurricane and he breaks that first turn, so that happened, and then I miss my Hurricane, which kind of sucks, because now I have to U-turn out. Obviously I can spam Hurricane against this thing, I am Assault Vested, and I can just get the confusion at any point, but sorry this has been kind of a boring battle, this has been so bad. I feel kind of sorry for this guy because he couldn't do anything to the two teams I brought. Kind of debating even recording the second one, and I might skip it or fast forward it. I'll probably fast forward it. But yeah, he brings out Heatran on Micro Fable here, nothing new. And then he makes a double to his Latios, predicting my Starmie once again, just to try and get the defog off so the Spikes won't be doing too much to him anymore. But he's not going to get him anywhere because I can just go out to Ferrothorn here. It's pretty much confirmed that he doesn't have HP Fire. And like I said, I can keep up Hazards versus this guy, which is amazing for me since I can just Spike here. And Latios cannot beat Ferrothorn without HP Fire, which he does not have. So I can basically keep Spikes, there's nothing he can do to my team, and honestly if I was him at this point it would just forfeit because there's really nothing that he can do anymore. But he does make a good play here, doubling out to Celebi just to get the recover off against my Starmie, but again it's not going to get him anywhere. The only play that wins in the game is if he's Double Dance Lando and I play like complete and utter crap against it. Which I kind of do, I'm not going to lie. It's actually kind of anticlimactic how this ends, but I'll get to that when it comes. I'm kind of tempted to just skip a few turns here because it's just the same thing over and over again. But he goes out to Landorus here on my Ferrothorn, as I do go for the Gyro Ball. And not wanting to take an Earthquake because I kind of want to take Dracos from Latios. This was a really big misplay on my part since he SD's here. So as you'll see, I did kind of play badly around this, but I'm guessing he just assumed I was toxic, or Whirlwind, because he just says GG and forfeits. So I'm guessing that's what he assumed, but I did not have that. He could have definitely set up a Rock Polish here and swept my team. But I think I was okay because I'm pretty sure Rock Slide from Hippowdon is a 2-hit KO from there, and +2 without a crit does not kill. So I mean, I'm pretty sure I was okay, but going for Gyro with Ferrothorn was definitely the better play on my part. I just thought that he would be like EQ or Superpower or something, and be Scarfed, because I really didn't want to take that considering Ferrothorn is my way of keeping up Hazards against his team against his Latios, which is obviously amazing. But that's going to be game 1. I think I'll just upload this as a separate video since this has already been 17 minutes long. This battle took so goddamn long, and I probably should have fast forwarded it, but sorry about how boring this was. It's pretty much the same thing over and over again, but it's a perfect example of a battle where you just don't need to make predictions, and if you watched through this entire thing, you, sir, are a lord. So I'm hoping, well, yeah, you definitely didn't enjoy that, but I'm hoping you got something from this. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video, guys. Peace.